After an unexpected off week for one-up racing as a whole for 4th of July weekend, we are back for the week after for some Nitro National racing action here at the Denver Motorsports Park. This 2.25-mile high-speed oval is a very aero-dependent racetrack where you're going to see cars fanning out 3 and 4 wide at the start and a lot of jockeying for position in the early stages because every position is so critical at a place like this. And alongside me to bring you all the action once again, Duke Ansack once again for us. It's always a pleasure to see the one-up cars come to Denver. It's a very fun racetrack, a very fast racetrack, and these guys are going to go all out trying to get every position they possibly can in the early stages.
You are so right about that. And I'll tell you what, this Nitro National Series this season has put on an absolute show for us. We have seen some stellar races up to this point in the season, and I don't expect anything different from today's race, honestly. It's going to be another good one. We're going to have a ton of drafting, like you said. We got a big racetrack, a wide racetrack on our hands here. And these drivers are just going to have a lot of room to move around. They're going to have a lot of space to make passes. They're going to have a lot of dirty air in the corners and a lot of good air that won't put so much pressure on the front of your race car down the straightaways. It's going to allow you to really get a good run on people down the straightaways. It's going to be a lot of fun. So there's a few drivers in the field that I'm definitely looking for to have a good race today, not to delve too much in to the starting order, but I think that people that are good at big drafting tracks are going to really be successful here. And I'm looking at Elijah Ironhouse, who's always up front at our big racetracks, starting in 8th, and then Robert Weaver starting in 2nd place. I also think is going to be somebody to keep an eye on today. But the rest of the starting lineup is all yours.
Absolutely. It's as it always is. We now bring you the starting lineup for 40 laps here at Denver Motorsports Park. Cody Goforth gets his first pole of the season alongside the aforementioned Robert Weaver in 2nd. Ryan Griffin, after that scary crash at Kentucky a few weeks ago, he is back and ready to rumble in 3rd. Keon Daly and Zachary DeLello round out the top 5. And a couple of names surprising us in the top 10 a bit. Ryan Arnold joins his teammates in the top at the front of the grid for the first time this season. He starts 6th. And Audrey Ansack's had a bit of a wretched season, but she starts 7th. This could be a turnaround race, as it always could be. We've got all 4 of the Team Duke cars are qualified in the top 25 to varying stages. 2 of them in the top 10 right next to each other on row 4, in fact. So a lot to keep our eye on. We got 2 superstar drivers in the field today. So let's see what they can do from row 7.
Yeah, this is going to be a great race. There's a lot of different things going on, a lot of different storylines. Like you said, Audrey Anzac trying to turn the season around. We've got some superstar drivers in the race, and yeah, this is going to be just a lot of fun to watch. A lot of different things happening at all the different points of the field, and this is the kind of track where drivers who are starting in the back have a genuine shot to get up there and race for a win. So it's going to be a ton of fun, and hey, we'll see who comes out on top in about 40 laps time.
So with that being said, we have 42 cars ready to take the green flag, and we are ready to bring you those 40 laps of action. This is the One-Up Nitro National Series from Denver Motorsports Park, and the green flag is mere moments from falling on the field, so stay tuned, because you're not going to want to miss a second of the action set to take place over these next 40 laps. With the pace car pulling off, Cody Goforth, Robert Weaver on the front row, getting ready to take us to the green flag here at Denver Motorsports Park. The flag is in the air, and 42 cars are getting underway here for 40 laps, and everybody's getting off to a good start. They're 3 wide for 2nd, 4 wide further back, but Cody Goforth's got the best view of them all. He takes the lead going into turn 1.
I definitely would want to be the driver of that 01 car right now. No worries out front. Nobody next to you, barely somebody behind you, and then clear road ahead. Smooth sailing out front, but farther back. My gosh, it is absolutely a mob of race cars back there, and they're all 2 and 3 wide all the way back through the pack. Plenty of room on this racetrack, even below that white line, through the corners and down the back straightaway. No out of bounds here at Denver, and there's plenty of room to race. So we're coming around, and it looks like Cody Goforth is easily going to lead the first lap.
Absolutely. This is his first lap led of this race. Hopefully he can lead a couple more, solidify his spot in the order, as Goforth now has a 0.3 of a second lead over Robert Weaver in 2nd, but Weaver is now under fire from Ryan Griffin in the 92. who's always strong on these big speedway type races. So expect him to be a contender today. Audrey Anzac jumped up from 7th at the start to 4th right now, challenging for that runner-up spot as well in the 33.
Yeah, looking through the middle with a huge push from Keon Daly, who just took the run down low, but has to get off the gas. Not enough room there, 3 wide on the bottom. But Audrey Anzac, very impressive in the first 2 laps of this race, all the way up to 3rd place from that 7th place starting spot. And we got one on pit road. It's a 38 car.
Oh, Jack Boswell, he had such a career day last time out of Kentucky. Got the win, such a big day for him. Goes from a hero at Kentucky to a 0 here at Denver. He falls a lap off the pace coming out of the pit lane. Tough way to start the day for that 38 team after such a good day they had last time out.
Weird. I didn't ever see him make his pit stop, so that I don't know what happened there, but yeah, tough day for the 38 car so far. But the 92 is there for the lead. Got on the bottom, and now they're 2 wide for 2nd place with Audrey Anzac looking on the outside. Not going to be enough coming out of turn 4, but yeah, they're 1, 2, 3 for the lead right now, nose to tail.
And I wouldn't expect Ryan Griffin to waste that much more time. He knows he let one slip away at Kentucky through no fault of his own, a big crash there. But hopefully he can rectify the situation here at Denver Motorsports Park. He gets underneath Goforth for the lead, going through turn 2. Will he be able to clear off the corner? It looks like he will.
He was just able to turn a little bit better through the middle of the corner, and then he snuck low of him. As soon as that air started piling on the spoiler of that 01 car, it just dragged that car back, slowed him down, and then the 92 was able to just drive away. That was a great pass in the middle of the corner. Now Audrey Anzac learned a little bit from that, trying the same move in the middle of the corner. It's not quite good enough that time. Looking at the bottom right now, going into turn 1, not a great angle. We'll see, though, if they're going to be too wide. Going down there to 33 on the bottom, not going to have enough of a run to get low there. So the Goforth car stays in 2nd place for now. But yeah, Ryan Griffin out front with a stellar move, and I think that car is going to be tough to beat today.
Side by side for 3rd now. Anzac on the inside. Keon Daly in the 52 up on the top of the racetrack. Looks like Audrey's got the run down into the corner, but Keon Daly's going to have a great run off the corner in that 52 Toyota Supra as he powers his way down the front straightaway. He looks like he's going to be able to take the position from Audrey at the line, so move Keon Daly up into the podium places. And let's not forget the other 2 Team Dayspring cars back there. Arnold and DeLello putting on a solid performance. All 3 Team Dayspring cars in the top 6.
Audrey's looking still to the bottom and is going to get a solid run through the middle of the corner, but there's just not enough room down there. When you're coming up out of the corner, there's just not enough room, especially when you've got a car on the outside to complete that pass. As I say that, Audrey powers away. And does Keon Daly have an issue right now? That was very odd. Must have had to let off the throttle going into the corner because the 52 has lost a couple of spots right there after making that pass on Audrey Anzac. Now coming down the front straightaway, stuck on the outside.
Yeah, but it looks like he'll be able to clear Ryan Arnold as DeLello makes a move on his teammate in this 10 car. First time we've seen Ryan Arnold at the front of the field since Daytona, and he's making the most of it. Currently battling with his teammate for the last remaining spot in the top 5. Looks like DeLello is going to take it pretty easily off of 2. Now Glenn Mixon's joining the party in the 19 machine.
Yeah, so these leaders, though, they're looking good right now. Cody Goforth is not letting Ryan Griffin drive away with this thing just yet. Cody Goforth still is just hounding right now on the rear bumper of that 92 car, and he's just sitting there lurking, learning, trying to ride a little bit here. We're only on lap 7, so now it's 8, of course. But yeah, Cody Goforth is just sticking around, not letting this 92 get too far ahead.
Yeah, but Ryan Griffin, he's been a long time without a win. It's been since March at Las Vegas, the second race of the season, after Griffin won at Daytona, then capped it off with back-to-back wins at Las Vegas. So he won the first 2 races of the season, but hasn't won since. I'm sure he'd love to get back to victory lane here in the first race of July. But here comes Zachary DeLello now, under Keon Daly for 4th. Looks like Daly's going to defend that position for the moment. And Mixon sneaking his way into the mix. We've actually got a lot of cars in this battle from 4th on back to single file.
Wow, yeah, it's right. Everybody is just kind of riding in each other's wake right now. There's that lower pressure air directly behind these cars. It's a little bit turbulent, so in the corners you don't want to be there, but down the straightaways, boy, oh boy, can you just pick up miles per hour down the straightaways in that wake of the car ahead of you. That's the drafting effect that we see at these big tracks here, and especially at Denver. It's a pretty massive thing. So yeah, you'll see a lot of that down the throughout the back of the pack, of course, as the air gets dirtier, as it's more turbulent and less dense for all these cars to push through. But yeah, and Audrey Anzac and Cody Goforth right now looking really good. They're both kind of right behind the 92 car, not letting that 92 car drive away too far. They're just following. They're not really able to make any moves right now, but it's good to not let Ryan Griffin drive away with it, because it could get out of hand very quickly, especially at a place like this, where if Ryan Griffin starts to drive away too far, there might not be any chance to catch him.
Yeah, and let's not forget either. We do expect them to make this race on one pit stop. We expect that to come around the halfway lap of this race, maybe a little bit after that. But these pit crews are going to play a big factor in this race today if this goes green the entire way. No guarantees that it will, but if it does go green the rest of the way, these pit crews are going to come in a big help for these top three and for everybody else trying to get a jump on the competition, because the undercut's going to be quite strong here.
Yeah, the undercut is, like you said, going to be big time, and then also you want to kind of stay in somebody's draft, as you're pitting, and then as you come out of this pits, especially. So if you pit and then you have no partner coming out of the pits, but everybody who is racing around you does, they're going to set a couple laps that are going to be a little bit better, and then they're going to be able to beat you that way in the race, and that's just another factor here at Denver that we have. But we have seen races won in the pit lane and races lost in the pit lane this year, so it's going to be a big factor coming to the halfway point of this race, what people do in the pits, when they pit, and how well they get through the pits. That's going to be massive.
And we're only about 8 laps from the halfway point already. We're already 12 laps in. And these guys are just setting a torrid pace out front. Ryan Griffin, average speed of 182 miles an hour around this 2.25 mile oval. So he's doing a very stellar job keeping at the front of the field. But he's not alone. He's got Cody Goforth back there. Audrey Ansac's lurking. But then you got to go quite a ways back to find the battle for fourth between Daly and DeLello. So these three starting to stretch their legs out front.
Yeah, ever since Audrey was able to pass Keon Daly back for that position, Keon Daly, if you remember, had made the pass for third place and then had to get off the throttle or something, and that backed up this whole group of cars back here. And Audrey Anzac was one of those cars. She drove up to the front pack, and I think that car is looking really good on the long run right now, has driven up to be part of this top three, and is really doing a solid job right now.
Looking now at Miles Mashburn, one of the two superstar drivers in this race. He's driving a part-time schedule for his own Robbers Racing organization. 2 cars ahead of him is his teammate, Robert Weaver. And Mashburn doing a solid job, hanging in the top 10. Remember, he got his first Nitro National win a season ago at Chicagoland. So he knows how to get around these intermediates. And now he's trying to sneak through the middle. Not going to happen. Side by side ahead of him between Yepes and Weaver. As we got another side by side fight. Audrey Ansac's trying to make a move on Goforth here.
Well, there's that long run car I just mentioned. Now up into second place for the 33. If she can hold it coming out of the corner, I don't know if it's going to work out. Probably will here. Yeah, it definitely will. So now move the Audrey Anzac up into second place here after passing out of third position, putting Cody Goforth now down to third place, and we'll see. So they ran side by side for just a second, and now they've fallen a little bit behind. They've fallen about a half second back of that 92 car. So we'll see if they're able to work together a little bit and maybe catch up to that 92 of Ryan Griffin.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see because it's not the easiest thing in the world to catch Ryan Griffin. Of course, he's the defending Turbo Truck Series champion. He's already got 2 wins in the Nitro National Series this season. He even ran a Superstar race. He ran the All-Star race about a month or so ago. But Ryan Griffin's one of the most versatile drivers in this series. Apart from the road courses, he's pretty good pretty much everywhere we go. And he's proving it here today. He's led for 12 of the 15 laps so far. Cody Goforth led the opening 3. But here comes Audrey Anzac. You said that long run car. She's making a move. She's down to 4/10 behind the 92 and gaining even more.
Yeah, and now she's at the point where she's really going to start to feel the effects of that draft, especially down the long back straightaway here. Watch this, how close the 33 is going to be able to get to the 92 just by following in the tire tracks. Then you dive down in the corner and you kind of want to be a little bit lower or higher, get a little bit of fresh air on that nose for the downforce. Boy, she followed directly behind the 92 right there. That must have been a loose or tight corner, not sure which for Audrey, but yeah, down the straightaway, looking really good for that 33, right in the tire tracks. And Cody Goforth isn't really able to keep up right now. It just shows the strength of these 2 cars leading the race right now, looking really good. And we'll see, we're closing in quickly on the pit stops, so we'll see who strikes first with the pits. But right now, we've got an engaging battle for the lead.
Yeah, we're about 5 laps away from green flag pit stops if they were to occur. But Audrey Anzac, you're right, gaining leaps and bounds on this 92, who he's to his credit, he's keeping a steady lead out front. But this 33 is just lurking back there. Like you keep saying, trying to get an edge, and we check on the fastest lap point while we're at it. Glenn Mixon has it by 1/1000th of a second over Zachary DeLello.
Yeah, and this is kind of interesting, a great opportunity for Audrey driving this 33 car to get some experience racing up front, racing with people that have been racing up front all season so far. Somebody who's second in the points right now, who led the points for much of the season. And right now, riding right on his bumper, going into the corner. Is there going to be a little bit of contact? I'm not sure. But yeah, right there. This is a great opportunity to gain a little bit of experience, gain a little bit of track time up front, and just be in the fight for it for once. We were talking about it earlier, been an abysmal season for Audrey in the 33 car. Up to this point, just not running at the same pace as her point leading teammate, Alex Frechette-Barube. And Elijah Ironhouse also up there in the points as well in 7th. So, yeah, just not at the same pace for this reason or that, in some accidents as well. So just a great day for the 33 car.
Yeah, this is a great opportunity for her. She's mired deep in the points hole. But I'm sure, this won't solve all our problems. I'm sure it would be a great way to build some confidence going into the next race, because these cars are. She spent a year in trucks. She made the playoffs there, did a great job there. Readjusting to these national cars is far from easy, but these guys are making it work so far. And speaking of her teammate Alex Frechette-Barube, he's making him climb up into, once he gets past this 94, he'll be up to 11th spot from his starting spot of 23rd.
Yeah, that's a pretty good run for the 3 car. Somebody who is looking to try to keep the points lead here. I mean, Ryan Griffin in 2nd place isn't too far behind. And just leading this race right now, Ryan Griffin is somebody who will not be going away in this season. So Alex Frechette-Barube needs to have good runs and good starting positions. Today was a bad starting position. If you can get a good run right here and finish up front somewhere, then you can at least defend a little bit of that lead in the points.
Looking now at Joshua Michaels, was announced over the break that he is making the move back to the Superstar Series next year with Robbers Racing, as King's Motorsports is closing down at season's end. He wouldn't have his ride for next year, but he does have one now, driving a Chevy Camaro in the Superstar Series for Robbers. That's going to be a great opportunity for him to showcase his talents. As we make our way further back, Elijah Ironhouse hanging in there just outside the top 15. And Justin Hutchinson driving the 11 car this week. It was announced also that that the driver of this 11 car, Blair, would not be returning to this organization. effective immediately. So a lot has changed in that camp, as it looks like the pit stops are starting. Logan Jones hits the pit lane. Let's see if anybody else is coming. Oh yeah, Audrey's in. Goforth's in.
Wow.
Keon Daly, Zachary DeLillo, they all came in. Ryan Griffin stays out another lap.
Interesting. Yeah, so that's kind of the thing about being the leader is that you're not able to judge what you do based on what other people do. So you're passing that pit lane first. Oh, there's some contact in the pit lane with Cody Goforth and Audrey Anzac right there. A little bit of debris left on the ground. Hopefully that doesn't impact either of those vehicles because they're going to have a great opportunity. They're both pitting together right here, so they should be able to draft with one another as they come out of the pits. Here comes Ryan Griffin around, going to make the pit stop here. So the 92, one lap without any draft, and one lap after these other two that were racing with him, and everybody else is coming into the pits right now. My goodness, every single car diving to the left off the racetrack to make the pit lane. Wow, that is a lot of vehicles on the pits all at once, but we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, it looks like Goforth lost a little time on that pit stop. He's now behind Daly and DeLillo. Audrey Anzac's ahead, but only barely at the moment. Let's see where Ryan Griffin fades in back into this. He's currently in his pits, making his stop. Let's see where these guys cycle out.
I wonder if that 01 had a bad pit stop, if they decided to repair a little bit of damage. There was some contact, as we saw, between that car and the 33. The 33 got a little bit of rear end contact damage, but the 01 front end, that's big time here. So we'll see if that impacts this race. Where is Audrey? Way back there on the track. The 92, I believe, is going to have a big lead over this 33. Oh, maybe not. They're coming real fast around the outside. The 92 will keep the lead, but not by a ton. And look at this two-car tandem. They are pushing each other down the back straightaway. The 03 and the 33 really having a time. And now the 03 going for the spot in second place. My goodness.
Yeah, here comes Zachary DeLillo. Looks like he and Keon Daly gained the most on this cycle. They're now up to what will be second and fourth. They were running about fourth and fifth, Daly ahead of DeLillo. DeLillo's actually the big gainer. He goes from fifth to second on the cycle. Cody Goforth, though, drops all the way back to eighth spot. Not what the pole sitter wanted to see.
No, not at all. That was a really bad pit cycle for the 01 car. That just has not had much luck here today. Lost the lead and then has not been able to do much about it. But yeah, so now we've got Zachary DeLillo in second place, and this is a new person in second place. We have not seen that car in second place today, so we'll see what happens if that car can get up there. The 03 has been quick right now, just past Audrey at the beginning of this run here, so we'll see if he has anything for the leader, Ryan Griffin.
Yep, the gap is 1.3 seconds, and he's got 15 laps to get there. So we'll see what happens as Glenn Mixon backs out of that corner. He didn't want to get into a three-wide situation. As Cody Goforth is on a mission. He's trying to get around. He got around Mixon. He's trying to get around the 94. And he sets his sights on his teammate, Ryan Arnold.
Yeah, and this is just an angry driver probably right now trying to get up through the pack. Somebody who has a really fast car. We saw that already. Obviously sat on the pole for this race. So really a good race car, good vehicle underneath him, and just going to has a lot of work to do right now to get back up there. Obviously, sitting there pretty far away. So you're in the draft right now, but as soon as you make that pass on the 10, you're not going to have much time or much in the way of draft to getting up there. It's going to be all line and getting pushed. And now Audrey is losing another spot, this time to Keon Daly, who is moving into the third spot.
Yeah, DeLillo took 2/10 out of Ryan Griffin's advantage on that last lap. We'll see if that's enough. He's got plenty of time to get there, but he's got to keep chipping away at that lead. If he can't afford to let that 92 get any breathing space, because if it does, this race could be over at any time.
That's true. It's very close to that point right now. That the 92 really had an amazing pit cycle in there. Has gained 2.5 tenths on the 03 car just in that lap. So yeah, Ryan Griffin. The crew had a great pit stop, completely clear pit road coming in and out. That was probably the right move, just because of how clear the pit road was. The 33 and the 01 both have suffered because of the fact they came in together. They were already racing so close. They were coming into the pits. They were pitting reverse of their running order, but right with each other in the pit lane selection. So there was just a little bit of contact there, and they both suffered. Their pit stop time has suffered, and then also they had to spend a little bit of extra time in the pits, which has allowed Ryan Griffin to get this large lead, and Ryan Griffin is pulling away with having a lap fresher tires here over that 03 car. So I'll tell you what, this is Ryan Griffin's race to lose at this moment, and unless there's a caution for the 19 car, Glenn Mixon way up the track.
Yeah, he lost a lot of time, and he's continuing to lose time to the cars around him. Elijah Ironhouse closing up in at a huge rate of speed, trying to get around this 19 car. But another thing that worked in Ryan Griffin's favor somehow, despite the odds, he did not have a pit stall that close to the front end of the pit road. His pit stall was right smack in the middle of it. So he had to navigate his way through some traffic getting out of his pit, and even despite that, he's got a 1.5 second lead now. So with 12 laps to go, this could be Ryan Griffin's race, as you said.
Yeah, well, you remember at the beginning of this race when Ryan Griffin took the lead, that was within the first 5 or so laps of the race, and just that's when that car is really fast. So right now is the perfect time to drive away from everybody. Short run car, really fast, a lot faster than everybody else in the very beginning of the run. So driving away right now, looking really good, and we'll see if towards the end of this run, maybe in the next 5 laps or so, we'll see a shift in who's fast and who isn't. But I just don't know. There's a chance that that 92 is going to drive far enough away that it won't really matter.
Right now, we got an intense battle for fifth on the racetrack between Ryan Arnold, Cody Goforth, and Miles Mashburn in the 72. But you're right. Look at the gap Ryan Griffin just pulled on Zachary DeLello. It's up to 2 seconds now. So you're right. This car is very fast in the short term. Let's see if DeLello can gain more on the long run. But for now, this is the closest battle on the racetrack. The battle for fifth between Arnold, Goforth, and Mashburn.
Yes, it absolutely is the best battle on the track. Look at these 3 drivers, nose to tail, all the way around, and there's a little bit of contact from that 72 to the rear bumper of the 01 car, but no impact to the 01 car. And now the 10 is slowing down, and everybody has to check up coming out of the corner. My gosh, this is an incredible battle right now. And Miles Mashburn is looking to pass both of them on the bottom lane.
Yeah, Arnold did his teammate no favors there by checking up off of 4. It was either that or risk wrecking the car, so it's a good thing Arnold got out of the gas when he did. The problem now is Miles Mashburn's to their inside, and he could very easily pass them both for a spot in the top 5.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, this is not helping that driver inside the 01 car. That helmet has got to be hot on the inside right now. Not happy about how this race has gone. After sitting on the pole, having a great opportunity, leading the first few laps, and then ever since then, it has gone downhill. And now he's fighting with his own teammate who has backed him up, and Miles Mashburn, who is still pestering him on the inside lane right now. Yeah, that Cody Goforth right now cannot be happy inside that race car. Really having a tough day.
All the while, these guys have dropped 2, maybe 3 seconds further behind Ryan Griffin, so this might put to bed their hopes of winning this race, unless we get a caution in the very immediate future of this race, because we're getting close to that point where a caution would end things here. So they would need to have one come out in the next lap or 2 to have a remote chance of getting to the lead. And even then, they'd have to get past Audrey, they'd have to get past Keon Daly, DeLello, and Ryan Griffin to get to the win.
Yeah, that would be a pretty incredible feat to be able to do that, and it would probably take a caution, but you're right, the caution has to come out right now if they want to have any chance of seeing some green flag racing afterwards. And man, Ryan Griffin, he just got to that threshold where he was able to start driving away. The draft didn't matter anymore from his car into second place, and then he just started picking him up and putting him down. I mean, look at this track around him. He's setting qualifying laps. No pressure at all from other cars. Nobody in front, nobody behind, nobody next to him. It's absolutely clear sailing for the 92, and we'll see how much the gap grows on this lap. I think that Ryan Griffin just continues to extend that lead by tenths at a time, now up a few more tenths. But this is the battle really on the track. Ryan Griffin driving away up front, but here's a battle that we really want to be watching. Cody Goforth on the bottom now of that 94 car of Logan Jones, and then Glenn Mixon coming back on the outside lane after having some trouble a little bit earlier, is back in this battle.
Yeah, Ryan Arnold's pretty much set sail in their battle for 5th, so he's got that pretty much settled. Miles Mashburn in 6th, but this is the fight for 7th between Jones, Goforth, and Mixon, and let's not forget Elijah Ironhouse creeping his way into the mix. We now have 6 laps to go in this race. The gap is now 3 seconds even. DeLello's running out of time.
Yeah, Elijah Ironhouse definitely looking to improve this race. Started in 8th, just behind teammate Audrey Anzac, who went straight to the front, but Elijah Ironhouse went a little bit to the back. Kind of was running in 15th there after the start. Solid start, 8th position. So now finally found a little bit of speed, a little bit of grip, and now is trying to fight back into that starting position. Hey, better late than never on that for the 8 car. But yeah, this is 2 passes right here. If the 8 car can hold it, can't on the bottom lane, that's fine. But Cody Goforth has gotten by both of these drivers now and is up into that 7th position. So Cody Goforth at least has a little bit of breathing room right now ahead of Logan Jones.
With now 5 laps to go, and the gap has grown by another 10th to 3.1 between Griffin and DeLello. So the outcome of the lead might not be in any doubt right now, but the battle is still raging on from about 5th to 12th on this racetrack. Because look, Diego Yepes and Robert Weaver starting to stick their noses into the action. Right behind the 04 and the 66. They're both making a race out of this. Got Ironhouse, Mixon, Yepes, and Weaver all in a battle for 9th spot.
Yeah, this is a great battle that we have right now. This is exactly what we were expecting out of Denver. This is such a great racetrack here for this type of racing. You know, the pushing, the drafting, the side-by-side action through the corners. This is just this has been pretty incredible, and boy, did we have a great race for the lead going on. But Ryan Griffin has spoiled that party with having just such an amazing race car in the second half of the race here that we've had here. But Audrey Anzac, long run cars coming in here once again, working on trying to pass Keon Daly. And this is for 3rd place, and Audrey Anzac, right now, if it were to finish it as it is at this point, she not only would have her first top 5 of the season, but also her first top 10 of the season. So a huge day for that 33 car.
And with 3 laps to go, timer is running out. DeLello gained a 10th on that lap, but he needs to be gaining seconds at this rate, not tenths. As Audrey moves up high to try and get a run on the 52, see if anything's worth doing up there. Might be, but Daly's probably going to be able to hold on down the backstretch. So, coming to 2 laps to go, 4.5 miles between Ryan Griffin and his 3rd win of the season. But the battles rage on further back in the top 10. This race is far from over for those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And the 8 car has moved up into 9th place now. The 01 remains in 7th behind the 72 and the 10. Those positions are unchanged as of the last time we saw. This is the closest battle right now that we have on the track. That is for 3rd place. So we'll see. It looks like the 92 isn't going to have any issue from lap cars in this one. And yeah, man, clear sailing for now for the leader.
And look at this battle. We've got from 5th back to 12th on this racetrack. They're all in a line trying to jockey for as many positions as they can. But for Ryan Griffin, it's not going to matter a dot for him because he's coming to the white flag this time. 2.2 miles separate him from another win.
Yeah, and he's going to cross underneath that white flag, as you said, right now. And that is pretty much the home free flag for the 92 car. Caution does not matter. It hasn't mattered for a couple laps, and anything that happens right now, this 92 car, as long as that car is continuing to lead at the end of this lap, he will be victorious on the day. And he has gained almost a half a second over second place in that lap alone. That is absolutely a wild amount of gain to be at the very end of this tire and fuel run that we have here at the end of the race.
So, coming through 3 and 4 for the final time, Ryan Griffin, after that terrifying crash at Kentucky, he's put that behind him, and he's going to come off turn 4 for a big win, and a third career win in the Nitro National Series to equal his truck total from last year. Ryan Griffin is victorious at Denver Motorsports Park, third career win for him. Zachary DeLello, it's going to be about 3.7 off the lead for yet another runner-up finish for that 03 team. But that will put him third in the points after this. A great run for him regardless. Keon Daly third. Audrey Anzac fourth for her best result of the season by far. Ryan Arnold comes home fifth for his first top 5 since Daytona back in March. Miles Mashburn comes home sixth for his first top 10 in his second race of the year. Cody Goforth, man, what could have been for him, but he'll come home 7th, a solid top 10 result. Logan Jones gets his first top 10 since Daytona in 8th, ahead of Ironhouse and Mixon to complete the top 10. But for Ryan Griffin, this race was his from the moment he got past that 01 in lap 4.
Yeah, it absolutely was. And there was an intense battle. He really had to earn it coming to the pit stop. But yeah, the crew on pit road and then everything about that pit cycle just absolutely worked out for Ryan Griffin in the 92 car. So that was really the moment that he had this race won. All he had to do was drive like he always does after that point. So yeah, 92 car, fantastic car. The crew did a great job. It was a total team effort today. And they put on a show, and they showed everybody who's boss here at Denver.
So from Duke Anzac and from myself as well, we say goodbye from Denver Motorsports Park. We'll see you again next time. But until that day comes, it'll be Ryan Griffin on top of the world in Victory Lane. But so long from Denver. We'll see you again next time at Trois Rivières in a few weeks.